So hi Chris, here we are at day 2 at Mobile World Congress at the Amdocs booth. Last night Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and CEO of Facebook, gave his what's now become a traditional keynote address. What did you think of it?
It was quite the impressive event. First of all, it's obvious that Mark Zuckerberg is still the rock star. This was a venue that was completely sold out, wall-to-wall attendance. There was a rush by the photographers to get to the stage when he came out, which was something similar to what you'd expect at the Oscar ceremony. So there still is a tremendous amount of interest and admiration for Mark, and he went on to deliver an incredible amount of insight into the business. He's got a lot of great ideas. He's a very smart individual. And so a couple of things that he really touched on that I think are relevant. Obviously, there still is a lot of interest in internet.org. It's of interest to the audience, it's of interest to the operators who are being asked to play a significant role in internet.org. And when asked about the recent decision in India, I think Mark Zuckerberg owned up to the fact that, Facebook is still trying to get its arms around the regulatory environment and how every country has its own set of regulations, and you can't just take a particular solution and cookie cutter it across countries. So that was one of the key takeaways that I saw from that presentation. Then he went on to talk about some of the other projects that are going on at Facebook, including virtual reality. And one need only take a look at a number of the trade show exhibits here at Mobile World Congress to see that virtual reality is a very popular topic, and it's one that's making its way into a lot of agendas.
And what I thought was nice, Chris, was that he also had the humility to say at times Facebook has made mistakes. It didn't get mobile. It took them a couple of attempts to get mobile right. He didn't really plan properly for video, and then that's taken over. So he wasn't afraid to admit to having made mistakes.
I think that's right, Jeff, but it also points out that the culture of these innovative companies is ones where they're not afraid to fail. They understand that that's going to happen from time to time. They have a culture of addressing failure very quickly and turning that into success.
Yes, and that also came up in this morning's sessions on what it takes to become a digital service provider, the transformation process people are going through, and I think it was Michael Duncan, the CEO of Consumer Telephonic, who said, you have to be resilient because at times you are going to fail.
Absolutely. One of the things that was interesting was a lot of the comments that were shared by the panelists reinforced the recent research that we brought to market that we're getting a lot of coverage on. And it really speaks to the challenges that operators have from the very beginning in terms of defining what is digital transformation. Some operators believe that that's what they're in the middle of. Other operators believe they've been doing it for a while, but they all understand that there are some significant obstacles that they have to overcome, talent being one of them. This digital transformation and creating digital disruption requires a different kind of skill set. And so many of the operators talked about the challenge they have in attracting that kind of skill set into the organization and fundamentally transforming the culture of an organization to be able to deliver to these new types of disruptive services.
Thanks, Chris. And when you've been walking around the floor of MWC, anything catch your eye in particular?
Well, there are a lot more cars and a lot more exhibits, all of which are connected to the internet in one form or another. So whereas a couple of years ago or even last year we might have seen a handful of cars, there's now a significant number of more cars, with the manufacturers really speaking to their role of providing in-car entertainment services, in-car communication services. So really, the show has done an admirable job of defining IoT, and they've actually extended the definition of IoT so that it encompasses many other industries. Demonstrated initially starting off at the gaming applications, but we're starting to see this evolve into other enterprise-like applications in short order. I think it's also important for our audience to know that all of the keynotes are being broadcast live on the Mobile World Congress website. So if they have interest in hearing from a particular keynote speaker, I would encourage our folks to go to Mobile World Congress and take a look at a replay of these broadcasts.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris, for your time.
Thank you.